thin vocal folds, giving me the ability to have a huge range. Okay, and they can vibrate with no problem to damage my vocal folds, at least up to an A4. What does it mean? Because if someone wants to sing professionally, the first thing that the vocal teacher will tell him is go to a voice doctor. He will see your constructions here and hear your resonators. This is very important too, I will tell it after. The voice doctor will say if it is safe for you to sing extremely high. He can tell you this by the size of your vocal folds and all the other muscles in here. He will tell you if it is safe. I done some vocal lessons back then, and the vocal teacher told me, I want to see, I know you are a contrabass, you are a Basso Profundo, but I want to see if you are capable of singing very high in the range of a bass, of an operatic bass. I must reach an F4 without struggle, after, of course, the proper exercises. Okay, so the most important thing is to be safe in all this range, and especially for a basso in the higher range. Okay, so for me it was safe because my vocal folds were thin, so you can go up high with no risk of damaging your vocal folds. That is what he told me. And back then, a very famous soprano here in Larissa, but in the decade of the 80s, she won the Maria Callas competition here in Greece. The most famous solists of the world are competing there. So imagine how good that soprano was back then. And I made some lessons, vocal lessons with this lady, and she's almost 70 years old now, I think. She was born in Russia, in Soviet Union. She knows the Oktavist voice, so whatever this lady told for my voice was gold for me. Was gold. She wasn't imagining things. She was born surrounding herself by Oktavists. And she told me, Ioannis, I can hear your voice. Oh God, you can go very low in piano. I was doing exercises and I wasn't bottoming up, because I was reaching F1. I was going E1 and she was stopped. Let's stop, man. We don't need to go lower. Yeah, I'm talking for this 4 years ago, okay. Because as I told you, I have at least 3 years that I stopped trying to go lower or train my voice in the extremely low area. Okay, I have stopped because there's no use for me here in Larissa. If I was in Russia or in America, then yes, I would try to do this. So, and she told me, I hear your voice, you have brutal low area, but as you go up, you have the ability to go and the quality. So yes, your vocal folds are as your voice doctor told you they are. Yes, I can say it. If someone asked me, she said to me, and I was, what? If someone told me, what is your voice? I will tell to them that you are a bass baritone. Why? Because I'm not a basso profundo or an octavist? No, because the bass baritone is the area I can sing in opera. I would place a deal, man, for your voice that you can reach an A4 easy if you train hard. If you train, because I haven't trained. In the first day of the exercises in piano, I reached a G4 diesis. I don't know if this is a G4 flat. I want you to see what is the note I reached. What is the note I reached in my first lesson with the proper technique that this lady told me. Let's see if this is the C4. Yes, C4. I reached this note, G4 diesis, in my first exercise. I can't sing it if you tell me now. Oh, I can use these notes only with falsetto, because I'm afraid if I try to use my modal voice in that area, I might damage my vocal folds, because I don't have the technique. Everything is proper technique. So this lady told me, after I reached this note, I don't know how I managed to do it. I suddenly relaxed so much all these muscles, and sent with the proper technique, with what this woman told me to do, and I reached this note. I reached this note. If I didn't have these vocal folds, I wasn't be able to do this. Okay. And listen to me, it's different to hit this note and sing this note. So, if I had bigger vocal folds or thicker vocal folds with the same box, then of course I wouldn't be able to do all these things I can do now. If I had bigger and thicker vocal folds, then by analogy of things I should have even bigger box, and of course then I could reach the lion the lion effect very easy. So the important thing that you must grasp for what you're here now is, don't believe anything you hear if you don't hear it from a scientist, an expert, or a guy who has this voice, this type of voice. Okay, so I have heard Zlatopolski's low notes. It has crystal clear sound, a crystal clear timbre, but all the way his bottom end in C1 or whatever it was he could hit. And if you hear in the octave channel all his low notes, the timbre was thin. Because why? Because it was modal. He was totally relaxed, and his vocal folds were vibrating effortlessly like this down there. And he had the proper resonators and the proper box. He had the proper analogy. If you say to compare his voice with another Oktavist voice, I would say that his voice, his construction was very close to mine. construction. Listen to me. I can't say that I will hit those low notes like he was capable of doing. Because he was a professional and he was doing this by a child since he's 67 when he died, or 61, I don't know where he died, I don't remember. I only trained myself for 2, maybe 3 years. Okay, if I train myself, maybe yes, I can do things that he could do. But I'm saying the construction here, I will say that mine is close to his. Maybe an Oktavist will go to a voice doctor and he will see bigger vocal folds than mine. Yes, but he doesn't have the dark timbre I have. Or he doesn't produce that subwoofer effect that I told you in my previous video when we were talking about the definition of voices. What did I told you? If someone has a contrabass voice, if someone is an Oktavist, doesn't mean that he has a contrabass voice. So if an Oktavist, another Oktavist, might have bigger vocal folds than me, doesn't mean that he has such a dark timbre, or he has that brutal effect from his vocal folds, where this effect I will explain why it sounds like this. The vocal folds, this isn't the vocal folds that you hear, the vocal folds producing the sound, because the strong diaphragm sends the air from here to here, and when they pass from here, the brain sending the signal produce sound down there, and while the air is passing from this area is producing the sound, but the timbre you hear, the brutal timbre, it's not my vocal folds. You hear my palate vibrates violently. You will hear many things, many interesting things in the other videos. So that's why some will say I'm an Oktavist, I have bigger vocal folds than you, but doesn't mean that you can produce all the stuff I can produce. Maybe you can produce something else that I can produce. All this changes about the analogy of things. So maybe you are a bit tired from all this information. But if you want to progress, and we will reach those videos when you will try to search about the perfect placement you must have according to your construction, your body. So to accomplish things, sing, hit notes, or do whatever you want to do. Okay, I will explain in another video. But it's very important to start thinking things. He says this, but why he says this? From the differences of each one's box and muscles and vocal folds, why this guy sounds like this and other sounds like that. Okay, it's the analogy of things that's happening inside you. And then when you sing, you will start to imagine all these things, to imagining this, and you will start to use all these muscles while you mature, little by little. And you will understand many things with this. So, thank you for being so patient with me. And everything you need to ask me, ask me. Okay, I will answer as soon as I can. Many greetings from Greece. See you in the next video.